Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys already saw the title. You know what we're going to be talking about. Don't be offended, okay? Let me just make my case. I want to explain myself because I feel like people are going to start screaming from the get-go, okay? Just hear me out. Anyway, before we get started with this video, don't forget to subscribe because I noticed that many of you are watching but not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, okay? So let's get started with today's video. So we're going to be talking about money, okay? Just like the title says. Because guys, you know I like talking about money. So this is what I want to say because I always get the GMs. This conversation actually started because I got another GM talking to me about I want to move back to Cameroon. The person is actually coming here in Cameroon like next week or in 2 weeks time. And the person was thinking about relocating back, blah, blah, blah. Usually when somebody say I want to move back to Cameroon, my first question is like, how are you preparing for your move, okay? Because it's really important to know how you're preparing for your move. Many people usually GM me or comment on my videos talking about how I inspired them, and I'm happy that I have that position where I can inspire people. But at the same time, I always say this thing, I just don't want people to think just move, okay? Or it's easy, or she's showing us how she's doing ABCD, it must be easy. So if you guys don't know who I am, or you have no clue, or you're new to my channel, or this is your first time watching, just know that my name is Jenny. I have 3 companies, a school, a bridal company, and a consulting firm, okay? And all of these companies have a branch here in Cameroon. The school is in Cameroon, but my YGL Wedding Bridal Company was incorporated in the US. My YGL Consulting was incorporated in the US. So as much as I have the physical businesses here, I also have clients everywhere, okay? So let's talk about why is it so expensive or you need the money to move to Africa. Whether it's Cameroon, Senegal, Ghana, you do need the money. First of all, here's what I'm going to say. Many of us, and I'm talking about the diaspora, we want to move to Africa and be comfortable. I already know. We want to be comfortable. We don't want to hustle. We don't want to struggle. We want to be comfortable. Out of 100 people that I've talked to, for example, 98 of them are planning to move to Cameroon and live a lavish lifestyle, okay? That's why the title is there. You need money for that. As much as I always vlog and I'm trying to tell you or show you guys my routine, my everyday life, my journey, what I do, guys, it's not easy, okay? Let me start with first thing first. If you want to rent or you want to buy, I don't know, many of you are going to come here to rent or maybe to live with family. One thing that I noticed when I was looking for places was that, guys, I know we already have a standard, okay? For me, it was the bathroom and the kitchen, those apartments. I have a friend who's actually coming here in a couple of weeks, and she's been looking for places to stay because she's also relocating back. And she's been looking online and she was like, okay, in order for me to get a real good place in the area that I want to stay, I may be spending $350 to like $400,000, which is roughly $700, okay? And the reason is because she has that taste, that American taste of like apartments are supposed to look this way. So in order for you to get that in Cameroon, you're going to be spending. I have a friend, he's from Morocco, but he works here in Cameroon. He's an expat. He lives in Bonapriso, has an apartment there. I think it's a 2-bedroom apartment. It costs him around $800,000 a month. $800,000. So it's basically like what I was paying when I was in the US, because I was paying close to $1,500, $1,500, close to $1,500. And that's what this guy is paying here, okay? So to a certain extent, if you want the good areas to live in, if you want the really nice apartment, it's going to cost you almost the same that it will cost you over there, okay? So that's something that many people usually don't factor in because you're thinking this is Africa and Africa is supposed to be cheaper. No, this is luxury here, okay? This type of apartment. I wanted to start there because many people don't know and they don't have any idea. They just think, okay, I'm going to move back to Africa. Africa is cheap. That one is not going to be cheap. One thing that I told my friend, because she was so disappointed with the bathroom and the kitchen, and I was like, girl, why do you think, if you guys watch my early vlogs when I moved, I was redoing my entire bathroom. I demolished the whole bathroom and we did it again. You guys, I mean, you guys saw it. If you haven't seen it, there's a playlist called Afro Home Renovation, something like that. You're going to be seeing everything, okay? Except the kitchen. I never showed the kitchen, never showed every other place. Anyway, never showed that. I only showed my bedroom, my office, my pink office, my bedroom office, my bathroom, and my bedroom area, whatever, the closet and everything, okay? So it's gonna be pricey, guys. And I remember when I just moved in, because I wanted things to look a certain way, I spent what I would have spent in a year if I was staying in an apartment or something. I'm not staying in an apartment, okay? This is a house. So bottom line, the lodging, where you want to live is going to really determine, because that's going to be the ballpark of your expenses, okay? Because you have to think about where am I going to live. And you can always move in with family. I think this is such a great idea. The thing is that if you move in with family, you don't have privacy. They knock on your door at all time. People show up at all time. I mean, you guys know, the culture here, okay? People just show up. They don't call you and let you know I'm going to show up. Can I show up? No, they just show up. So living with family has its ups and its downs. Like, you're going to have that family community. You're going to have somebody who cooks you good meals. But at the same time, guys, you just, I don't know. This is tough. If you currently have your privacy wherever you are, whether it's Europe, America, whatever, coming to Cameroon to live with family is going to be tough. I'm just saying, okay? Do you want to take taxis every single day, or you want to be having a car? Let me say this, you don't need a car, but if you want the comfort, I can only speak for me, okay? I wanted the comfort, and this is, I mean, guys, like 14, 15 years in America, I never, like, public transportation was when I was going to university, because I would take the bus from my apartment all the way to university, which it wasn't even that far, like 15, 20 minutes drive. But as soon as I could afford getting a car, I was driving everywhere. So I lived in Minnesota, I drove there. I went different places. I went to many states in the US. We have 50 states. I think I did at least 30 states in the US. And yeah, I drove everywhere that I went to, I mean, I'm talking about vacation, whatever, or maybe for like specific time frame. In Texas, I drove. I had a car. There's no public transportation there. So if you're somebody that you're not used to public transportation, I mean, you're just going to have an extra level, like a little bit more stress. If you decide, I'm going to move to Cameroon and I'm going to get taxis to go from point A to point B. I did not want to get that stress. In the beginning, when I just moved, first of all, I was scared to drive here. But guys, after a month, I was like, okay, let me start holding the wheel. And then I was like, please, Jesus, hold the wheel. Hold the wheel with me, because I knew it was going to be cray. Like, driving in Douala is like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I always talk about it. You guys know. So I had to get a car, and getting a car, it wasn't cheap. Okay. I bought my car for $16,000 cash. And then you guys, if you saw the video where I was customizing, I showed you guys the video that I customized my car, and it cost me maybe an extra, with everything that I customized, let's say an extra like 600,000 francs CFA extra, which is like $1,000. So overall, I probably spent like 17,000 on my car in order to get it the way I wanted it. And that wasn't even a new car, it was a used car, okay? You guys see my car, like it was a used car. But I wanted to have it, guys. Who has money for a new car? Like, I have businesses, I have people, I have employees, like more than 25 of them. Who's gonna pay? It's just too much. So, okay. So the car, I had to make a choice, because in the beginning I was taking the taxis, but guys, like, I want to be flexible. I wanted to be able to move from point A to point B without waiting for somebody. My brother was sometimes giving me a lift, but him too, he's busy, has a job, So, I mean, he's an entrepreneur, has his own thing. At some point, I was getting this chauffeur. He was a taxi driver. So we had this contract where whenever I call him, I just tell him, this week I will need you on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you will show up and you will take me everywhere I want to go all day long. That was expensive, okay? Was expensive. That's why I had to learn how to drive fast, because I was like, okay, I know Douala is a jungle, but I got to know how to drive here, because it's just going to cost me more and more money. And then also, I moved 2020, so we're talking about the pandemic. So there was no batching other people in the taxi, like, no. I was the only one in the taxi, which will cost you more money if you do that as well. So I ended up just buying a car. Usually the mechanic, like if you have some type of issues, repair of your car, repair and maintenance is kind of like affordable here. It's cheaper, way cheaper than in the US, for example. But let me talk about the gas prices. I think I spent about 60, I want to say 60 to 80,000 a month on gas, which is roughly like 150 if I want to just, put it in one thing. $140 to $150 that I spend on gas per month living here in Cameroon. And I know many of you are going to, because I have an SUV, so many of you are going to be like, girl, you could have just gotten something like a smaller car. Have you guys seen the potholes here? Like the roads, some of the roads are just bad. It's just bad. I mean, if you guys know Cameroon, I don't have to explain it to you, And where the school is currently located, the road is bad. So there's no point for me to get a small car that's going to be damaged or destroyed in 1 year or two. You see what I mean? So I wanted to get a car where, first of all, I'll be comfortable. Second of all, I'll be able to go to every neighborhood, even though there are huge potholes. That was the other thing. So you have to factor that in. How are you going to move from one place to the next and so forth? Do you want to have a job here in Cameroon or you want to work for yourself? Because that's really going to determine how much you need to spend. I know people who have had their own savings, right? They live in the US, they save the money, and then they move. Those people lasted for 2 years, and the savings were gone. I had savings, okay? If I had to only rely on my savings, guys, like you can't. Your saving is not going to go, unless you have millions of savings or hundreds of $1,000s of savings, then yes, you can live a good life here if you decide to lower your standard, your standard. So you do need to have a sustainable income, stream of income. Either it's going to be through business, either it's going to be through, how do you call that? Remote job, okay? Because you can be in Cameroon, but you work for a company in the US, for example, and you just have to work remotely. Or you can do freelancing. Maybe you have some skills. But guys, I know us. And when I say us, I know the diaspora. In the US, we have what we call freedom of speech. And we are really outspoken people, really outspoken people. So if you're thinking you're going to come to Cameroon and look for a job like everybody else and work for a company in Cameroon, I don't know if you're going to survive. Let me just say it this way. I don't know. That was my goal before I actually made the move, like years back. That was my goal. The goal was that I work for 5 years, I will save some money, I will move back to Cameroon, and I will look for a job. I think before the 5 years hit, right? I was coming to Cameroon every year, and I was like, yeah, there's no one I can. Just the mindset. That's not to say the mindset is bad. It's just to say it's different. It's just different. The culture is different. It's different. And if you've lived abroad for so many years, more than 10 years or a dozen or 20 years, I mean, the adjustment is going to be hard if you're planning to work for a Cameroonian company. I'm just saying. So you do have to think about how you're going to be having a sustainable source of income that will give you that lifestyle that you want. Also, let me talk about the whole thing about family, okay? Because for some reason, some of us are raised in families that don't require us to help them financially. And some of us are raised in family that required, the person who is successful, quote unquote, to be helping financially. So if you were raised in a family here in Cameroon that kind of look up to you, they see you as if you have financial success where you are right now. Just know that when you come in here, people are going to come knock on your door. They're just going to knock. Your cousin is going to say, I don't have a job. Your nephew is going to say, I can't go to school. Your auntie is going to show up if you have your parents and so forth. Like, you know how it is. You guys know. So I'm just giving you some, highlights of what your life here could be like. I think for me, I don't want to say I'm fortunate, but I am fortunate in a way. Like I was raised in a family where my direct family, I'm not talking about the extended family, cousins, nephews and all of these things, but my direct family, all my siblings live abroad, okay? I have my little brother here, but he's doing well for himself. My parents are good for themselves. Like they don't require me to be there financially for them, even though I still feel like I have to be there financially, but they don't require it. The only other issue that I have is the extended family, the cousins, the uncles, the aunties, the nephews that you've never met, the aunties that you never knew existed. They show up, right? They show up. And I think as a woman, it's different than a man. Because as a woman, people are looking at you as a single woman. Let me put it this way. Because if you're a married woman, they do see you as somebody who has financial security. But as a single woman, they kind of give you, they let you be. Let me put it this way. They let you be a little bit until they start looking at you really closely and they realize that, oh, this girl can afford flying, everywhere. She can afford buying this car. She can afford living in this place. She can afford ABCD. That's when they start coming for you, okay? So as a single woman, in the beginning, I didn't really experience it. But at some point, they started coming, right? Like even up to today, I have a list of people reaching out to me saying that they need ABCG. So you have to factor that in. And I'm not saying you have to give them anything, but it's family. Sometimes you do have to give them just something, right? And many of them, I have offered them jobs. They don't. Or some of them will actually work and then they will quit or they will make up some stories and so forth. Like it's not, the whole thing of working with family is not my thing. But anyway, I digress. So the next thing that I want to touch base on is healthcare. Healthcare in Cameroon is not as good. We already know, like we don't have to go and find reasons why, blah, blah, blah. If you guys want a full video about that, I will let you know, okay? Something happened, an event happened last year. And, as much as we talk about the healthcare in Cameroon is not good, I feel like it has to hit close to home for us to realize it. It's pricey if you want to get really good healthcare. It's pricey, okay? You guys know I went to the US last time because I told you I wanted to be, to see the doctors there. And then I ended up also going to France where I saw other doctors. In addition to me having the infection, that just made everything worse. And then I had to see more doctors. Guys, healthcare in Cameroon is not as good, but if you guys want a full video about that, I can do that as well. But I don't know every specific details, but I know that it's pricey if you want good healthcare, okay? So let me now touch base on leisure. So anything that has to do with you having fun in Cameroon, entertaining friends, family members, and things like that. Whew. Food in Cameroon is not expensive. It's not. If you go to the bar, close to the bar, they have a restaurant, blah, blah, blah. It's not expensive. You can spend like $10 to have a really good meal and a beer, okay? It's not expensive. When I say beer, because many Cameroonians like beer. I don't drink beer. So there are places that look like places in the US, for example, right? Because, that's the comparison that I always make because I live there. So there are places that will look like the US that in Cameroon, it would be luxury, right? In the US, it would be, okay, a decent place. Those places are expensive. Last time for my birthday, I know my birthday vlog was supposed to be happening today or something. Guys, wait for Sunday. It's going to be down Sunday. My birthday vlog, everything, whatever. So the place that I went to, One Rooftop, or some of the places that I usually show you, I think I do a good job. I don't know if I always do a good job, but I always make sure that I show you guys the pricing of like how much this appetizer and this drink costs and so forth, or maybe just food, or maybe that, because I get, constantly, I get many people asking me questions about the affordability of things, the food, restaurants, all of these things. If you want to go to those places that are called posh places or luxury, then it's going to cost you the same thing that you're spending right now in the US. If you go to the mom and pop, restaurant, it's going to cost you $5, just like it can cost you $10. It's going to be cheaper. So really depends on you. One thing I also want to tell you is that if you have friends, and I know this is going to rub people the wrong way, but if you have friends, you're going to spend more money. That's just that. As much as I want to sugarcoat the thing, no, your friends are not going to pay the bills. You're going to be paying the bills. You know why? Because you have the dollar, you have the euros. You're going to be paying the bills. It's just the way it is. And unless you have friends that are well off, friends that have money, or family members that have money, then people are not going to be checking on you. But if you come from, you guys know, I'm trying to sugarcoat the thing, I can't. People are going to be expecting you to spend money. And I think it's worse for men. Men get it really bad. I've been to the club 3 times in 2 years. Like, I've been in positions where you go someplace and this person mentioned that she forgot her wallet. The other person doesn't even look at the bill at all. Like, I've been there, okay? So I can just imagine what men are experiencing, because it's worse for them. And I have guy friends who relocated back. I have guy friends who come here because they do business here all the time, and they're experiencing this thing all the time. And guess what? Those people who you're inviting who never pay, they are the one always ordering more things. Like, they are the one who drink the most. They are the one who eat the most. They are the one who suggest places that we should go to. Like, the culture, okay, the culture. So, but in general, when it comes to having fun and things like that, it's really not going to be that pricey, okay? There's this place in Boramusaji where I usually go and eat soya. There's Rue de la Joie. I go there and eat soya. I can sit down and really eat good food for like 3,000 or 4,000, which is like, I don't know, $6. $6. You will eat a good meal and a drink. Now, if you go to the posh places that will look more like the US, you will spend the equivalent of maybe $40. So it really depends on you. So I'm really somebody that sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm there. So I'm everywhere, okay? I'm everywhere. But for the comfort that I want to live and how I am, I just like it when I park my car somewhere and I'm not wondering if somebody is breaking into my car. So there are some areas here in Douala that I don't go to, okay? Just because of the safety thing. It's either you cook or you have somebody cook for you. But buying groceries in the open market is not expensive. It's actually really cheap. Now, buying groceries in a supermarket like Carrefour, like Super U, and all of these other places is going to be a little bit pricey. You know why? Because many of those products are imported. So at this point, my camera is overheating. I'm just going to wrap up the video. I hope this video was really helpful. Guys, I have a list of things when it comes to like how much you're going to spend for certain things. And your life can be as expensive as you want, just like it can be as cheap as you want. Everything depends on you, okay? So you are the one deciding what type of lifestyle you want to live. Move to Cameroon. It's an amazing experience. Don't be, how can I put that in a sweet way? Don't be stuck up, okay? Don't think things are supposed to go this way and that way and that way. No, this is not America. This is not wherever you guys are, you know, like this is not it. This is Cameroon. So as you come into Cameroon and thinking, I want to experience the lifestyle here, just keep that in mind. Things are going to be different and it's going to be a little bit frustrating, okay? Some things that would have cost you $10 may end up costing you more because the person that you gave the job or the service did not really understand what you meant. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the video now because I feel like I always ramble. I always talk more than I want to talk because I always over explain certain things. But if you guys are still here, thank you for watching. Comment down below, let me know your experience if you're thinking of moving back to Cameroon, or just let me know some of the questions that you may have. I can do a Q&A and I can answer your question there, or I can just make another video about your question. So guys, thank you for watching. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.